Okay, so there we go. I believe. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my cam? There it is.
Your beautiful
Okay,
beard. We
of
must see it.
course. Without that, there's no friggin' HHL or Warforged or whatever other trash I choose to play. So, good day, everybody. This is the Ecclesiarch here. Back to you with some more Horus Heresy Legions card creation tournaments, and I am, of course, here with none other than Shad, because you cannot have that without Shad. So, Shad, how you doing?
Freeze in the name of the law. I know you're harboring purple cards. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna fucking destroy them.
Yeah, you can imagine. Like, do you imagine somebody joining this specific tournament and not making purples? I, for one, don't see that happening. So,
No, they're an understood part of flavorful lore. We're gonna have to Google half these characters, I'm sure, as well. That's the thing.
yeah,
We understand.
yeah, because there's so many books, right? So,
Yeah.
Hey Igor, hey Transcend, hey guys, nice to see you. And without further ado, Shad, let's get right into it because we got a lot of things to do. So we're gonna
Alright.
start from your card, who is the first librarian, Aaroth Ptolemy. So he's got the ability special card, Library of Ptolemy. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Ptolemy?
Ptolemy.
Ptolemy,
So,
right? So yeah, Ptolemy.
mostly right. Yeah.
Okay, so Ptolemy, and whenever you trigger strategy, shuffle the Unchosen effect into your deck. It costs 0. Whoa, say what now? 1 energy, choose a card in your opponent's hand. They draw a card and then shuffle the chosen card into their deck. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're basically replacing cards in the enemy's hand. That's very interesting, but they do get to draw, though. Shad, I'm not getting... Okay, let me first see the library. So library is 4 energy, choose a tactic in the enemy's hand, and transform it into Lectitio Divinitatis. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's awesome. So you could destroy some very important things there, but you're not... You know what I like about this? I'll tell you right away what I like about your card. I like that it doesn't just destroy something from your hand or whatever. There's like... what it's doing is that it's always giving something in return. So I think that's pretty cool. But I don't get one thing. What do you mean shuffle the Unchosen effect?
So if you played the big 8E guy that says, was it destroy a random enemy troop or deal 6 damage to the enemy warlord, right? The one that you chose, it would go into effect immediately, as usual. But the strategy effect you didn't choose. So, for example, if you chose destroy an enemy troop, then you would shuffle deal 6 damage to the enemy warlord into your deck, and it would cost 0.
Oh, so you would technically be. Oh, do you think the EG Spaghetti Code can take care of that though?
Maybe. It might be a little optimistic, but I don't know. I think that is how they mostly do it though, because they do actually just structure them as cards that are only spawned and summoned during those effects. I think, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, honestly,
yeah.
I really like the idea behind this world. I just think he's a bit of a cancer because, even though you actually made him quite fair, I just think some people are gonna rage against this warlord.
Oh, he'd be very annoying to play against.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's trying to sort of play a long-term control game. I was kind of inspired by our Legacy Threat series because one of the biggest recurring things is you can't play control decks in Legacy because they get destroyed by combo decks. So you need to add some anti-combo play into the game somehow. And this guy would do that because he would constantly fuck around and mess around with their hand, but he also has a one-shot ability to just dismantle a part of the combo, potentially. So it's expensive and it's not very efficient, but it's there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that was the theory behind it anyway. So yeah, I'm very proud of him, actually. I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, I like it. I quite like it, actually. I see that the idea is very original. Okay, you got mine.
Right, Auramagma. I know this guy. This is the one that tried to 1v1 Lemon Russ.
Yeah, that's the guy who shot Lemon Russ with a big fireball and it got reflected on him.
This is the Super Saiyan man. So it's a 235 medium initiative Thousand Suns Warlord. He has a purple, Pyre of Agony, Psycho 1 as usual, and 2 energy. Deal 2 to 3 damage to units. Ooh, bad wording. If it survives, deal 1 damage to a random friendly unit. Okay, I like the flavor behind that because obviously he fired it off and then it ricocheted. Pyre of Agony, 25 Psycho, 1 cost for each point of psychic energy you spend. Deal 10 damage to all units. Oof. Okay. I like the interesting combos with that, though, because you can combine... There's a lot of shield effects in Thousand Suns, obviously. So
Now,
you can potentially save yourself from the damage.
yeah, I think this was focused like flavor wise because Auramagma, when he would shoot those fireballs, like it reflected on him obviously, and the whole thing during the Battle of Prospero was that a lot of their like strong psychers overused their powers, which ended up in them like either exploding or other bad side effects. So it's kind of the same thing with the Pyre of Agony.
Yeah, no faction on purple. He is correct. Also, I'm one thing I'm not sure. It feels kind of like a reckoning. It's just Magnus's reckoning, so not sure about that. Yeah, it's interesting, and the effect is massive, which is a lot of fun. But I don't know. I feel like it should have been a targeted effect, not an AOE, because this way the key mechanic of Ward does not actually interact with his final KO ability. And that's not very flavorful because Lemon Russ.
That is very true.
Gated it and bounced it back, didn't he? So yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, I like the flavor behind it. I understand it. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Anyway,
let's begin.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is mine. Toramino the asshole. So Toramino, master of the Store Bejak. Honestly, I think that he's a pretty cool character in general, but he's an ass. So it's okay, guys. We're not rewarding ourselves anyway, so you can ignore it. Now, So what are we doing here? So we got a 2 energy, 35 HP, standard for a epic warlord, an epic warlord, and you got a low initiative, which also kind of makes sense. And he has Destroyer of Castles, also makes a lot of sense. So 2 energy, Siege, deal 2 damage plus an additional 1 damage for each vehicle you control. Ooh, if you have none, put in play an Iron Strike Rapier. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, add Destroyer of Castles, 5 energy. Reduce the health of all enemy troops to 2, and put in play it should be I guess, Iron Strike Rapier. If the enemy has no troops, put 2 instead. Oh my god. So before I go into detail, I have to say I love the flavor. I think flavor-wise, it captures Toramino like perfectly, right? It's got the beautiful Iron Warriors flavor, and this is what Toramino does, right? He just, he's there to crack open the shell, and all of this really does signify, show it really well. The only thing that kinda bothers me is the balancing issue.
It's weak as hell. It's really weak. Definitely needs a buff.
Summoning an Iron Strike Rapier, however... Oh, wait, Iron Strike Rapier is the Iron Hands one, right?
No. Iron Strike Rapier is a 2 energy, 1/4 with attrition, deal 2 damage to a random target enemy.
Oh, okay.
What were you thinking it was? Were you thinking it was the 3/4 flank thing?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not that. It's an attrition. So it would be an attrition deck.
Now, the problem with this is, because it has low initiative, obviously it's going to struggle a little bit, but... are you sure that summoning 3 Iron Strike Rapiers is that weak, though?
It's just that you're only doing 2 damage, which, is nice, and then, again, it's only a 3 Iron Strike Rapier if you're losing.
Oh, it's Siege, that's right, it's Siege ability. Yeah.
If it didn't have Siege, it'd be busted, yeah, absolutely. But, yeah. It's the fact it has Siege. This needs to be a 1 energy ability, in my opinion.
You're right.
Yeah. That would work. That would synergize better with an attrition-based deck as well, which is kind of what this would want to be doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just actually forgot that it was a Siege. That's why I was surprised when you said it was weak.
Yeah. I have a few other issues. So Castle should be capitalized. It should be 1 energy, the Siege ability, in my opinion. I don't think it should have low initiative either, to be honest, because, I know that the Iron Warriors are very slow and grinding by comparison to other legions, but this guy is the Master of the Store Bezashk. Those guys do breaching operations as well. They're not just sieges, so... I'd say medium is acceptable. And the purple, I kind of like the purple. I like the reduce the health of all enemy troops to 2 thing, because that synergizes very interestingly with a lot of their mechanics, and as well the Iron Strike Rapiers themselves, because obviously at that point, if they hit it, it dies, because it does 2 damage and they have 2 health remaining. But again, this feels overcosted for what it does. And yeah, if the enemy have no troops, put 2 instead. Oh, that's the thing, paying 5 energy to create 2 Iron Strike Rapiers is just a bad return on investment. Like, this could be 4 energy, I recken.
Yeah, I guess the issue is that it's underpowered, but in terms of like flavor, I think it's really good.
Yeah, kinda. He doesn't really have anything that like incentivizes attacking structures as a thing. That's not a huge deal, because structures basically just don't exist in this game. The
Yeah,
active is neat. I like the vehicle synergy. The fact it's both vehicle and attrition synergy is quite interesting, because you can take it in 2 different directions there. It is, yeah. If it was just 1 energy, I think, and maybe medium initiative, I think I'd be quite on board with it. But the balance is off. The flavor's decent though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What the?
6 fucking Maria Astalans. Why 6? Why specifically 6? I don't understand.
Come
on, explain it to me.
Can I?
Do you understand the joke? I don't get it.
I don't know, but it's kind of funny.
Just a lot of them, really, yeah.
I actually don't. Oh, wait. I think my camera just crashed. That joke just ended the camera.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't know what that is about, but it's actually crazy. What the hell? Okay.
All right, moving on then. So mine is
yeah, but I think my thing is not visible anymore. Wait.
Oh, okay. Say when you fixed it then. I'm going to Google this guy just to make sure he's the one I'm thinking of while I'm waiting.
Right. What the heck just happened? Oh, there we are. Back.
Hey.
Okay. That's pretty crazy, honestly. Okay. Moving on.
Right. Grael Noctua, Mornival, a 235 Epic Sons of Horus Warlord, pretty standard, like you said. High initiative, which, yep, they're a very fast and aggressive legion, makes sense. He has a purple, New Moon, which we'll deal with in a minute, and 2 energy, choose a Sons of Horus tactic and add it to your hand. It costs 1 less. And then the purple is 2 energy, New Moon, it has reflection, and it says trigger the spear tip ability of a friendly troop. Also badly cropped art there. What the fuck? Come on, guys. But yeah, the art is cool. I don't think I see any wording issues. Yep, the wording is perfect. I'm just going to criticize the design, I'm afraid. Sorry, it's just really boring. Like, what do you do with that ability? Oh, actually, I have spotted a formatting issue as well. Actually, there's no colon after the ability, so it's it needs to be 2 energy colon. Choose a Sons of Horus tactic. Yeah. I just don't know what you do with this. That's the thing. It's just generic like value engine. This is the same thing that all of the original Sons of Horus warlords had in the first version in Drop Site Massacre. You remember when it was like just deal damage again, but differently, draw a card, but differently. They had nothing unique about them to build around or do anything with. And this guy's mostly the same. The purple kind of saves him though, which is reflection, trigger the spirit ability for friendly troop. When I first saw this card, I did think, oh no, it goes infinite with what's his name, Malagurst, but that's not true because this is a special. It's not a tactic, so Malagurst would not actually discount it. But yes, for 2 energy, triggering spear tips. I don't know. I can't really think of any spear tips that would be that impactful. I think this could probably stand to be 1 energy, and it needs a new active ability because it's just not interesting. Like, what do you do with it?
I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be like a big Malagurst combo, I think, because you could technically, as the guy said, you could technically do a very weird Malagurst combo with this, I think.
Yeah, but then you're just what you're doing instead of getting an 8 energy planetary assault, you're getting a slower 10 energy and planetary assault that like you were going to win anyway if you managed to land that combo most of the time. Like it's basically just have a hard board wipe or lose in most scenarios. So
Yeah,
that's
I
not
mean, I
that's
get
not an
where
investment.
I get. Oh my God, it shut off again. Okay, wait.
Ah,
In the meantime, I'll say what I think. I think the main issue that we have with this currently is that, well, the problem.
for 2 energy, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying is that it's kind of giving you a question of what exactly is this for, right? So that's
Well,
the.
yeah. Petrov says you're supposed to use it on stuff like Haxa and trigger marks. Well, that is true. I can see that argument, but you're doing it for 2 energy a pop. That's not a very efficient return. I mean, a Mark of Chaos by itself, just as a card, is 1 energy. Yes, this is free and you have reflection, but like it's just spending 2 energy to give something a Mark of Chaos is just not good.
Yeah, it's not exactly the best thing, for sure. I think it's I think a little bit weird overall because I mean I get what this is coming from. So
Yeah,
since my thing is going crazy, I'll just
yeah.
tell you in the meantime.
You know what I
To
would have done actually?
go on.
I think it's really simple actually. You can combine the purple and the active into one thing. 2 energy, trigger the spear tip of target troop that you control. Easy. Or actually, you can even make it a choose effect, so you can trigger you can double the spear tip of the next tactic instead as well, because that way you get more flexibility rather than it just being forced onto troops only.
Yeah, that works, I guess. That can work. I mean, once again, what I find a little bit weird again with this is that I don't get what's its place exactly, right? You see what I mean? So what is it supposed to do? What is it supposed to make? What's supposed to make it special? You know what I mean? At the same time, I kind of get when people want to make these big combos, but I think the problem with that is a very simple thing. I don't think in HHL those things work. What do you think, Shad?
Oh, you're right. Wow, is it true they never put spear tip on a single tactic? Why didn't they do that? Are you sure that's true? Oh my god, that might be. Sorry, that just seemed very obvious. Yeah, hang on. Is it... No, there's got to be a tactic with spear tip, surely. I'm looking it up right now.
Check it out until I find out what the hell is up with my thing. Trying to fix it. Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, and I'm doing some research quickly. There's no way they didn't make a single tactic with spear tip. That would be just stupid. No. Oh my god, they didn't. What the hell? How did you miss that easy win? Come on, EG. Seriously?
I think the closest the closest thing that they got there. I think that the closest thing that they got there was that the card that draws you a spear tip thing.
Well, that's the opposite of spear tip though, because it inherently turns your spear tip off. So the card you just drew is useless, which is a terrible card. Wow, how did they make no spear tip tactics? What the fuck?
That's actually kind of weird, honestly.
That is
because
very weird. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. No, you transcend. Yeah, you could make. I'm not saying Warlord would be bad. It probably wouldn't see play. Well, it might see play, but like, yeah, you could do just a burn deck and try and fish for burn, but it's not really very interesting or unique. And it's like, and it wouldn't be consistent. And yeah, well, the Warlord is boring because Sons of Horus are boring. Kinda, yeah, kinda. OG Sons of Horus were very boring. New ones have a bit more flavor to them, but you know.
pretty strong though.
Mm.
Okay, wait a minute. I think we're back, guys. I think we're back.
Fixed it.
Yay, we're back. Okay, hell yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're back.
Right, yours, I believe, then.
Are you streaming the new patch? Because it doesn't exist, I get it. Okay, so
Nice.
okay, Captain. Okay, good one, guys. Captain Galliard, Blood Angels Captain. Okay, so 2 energy 35 Blood Angels. When the enemy warlord attacks, gain Bloodthirst until the end of your turn. This is already bad.
What do you mean by bad?
I mean by bad that this is also very terrifying. And you
Oh,
can
okay.
summon a Clonatus squad. Okay, no, I'm joking. So basically, you can summon Clonatus squads. That means that it's gonna summon them with a drop pod, right?
Yep.
Yeah, what I want to say about that is that I think that is broken. I'll tell you what I mean. Do you guys remember what Tybalt Mar used to do when he came out? He used to summon 3/2s with a drop pod. I think it was Lycus squad or something. And then it was nerfed to the Abahol squad, right? Because the problem... What does it summon now, actually?
The 2/2s. With
The
drop pod.
2/2s, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is... the problem is that... this is going to be very strong because, again, the enemy is going to have a serious problem dealing with, I think, dealing with that. On paper, maybe it's not too strong, though, but the fact that you get Bloodlust... Actually, wait, I might actually like this.
The design, but it is very strong, like you're pointing out, yeah.
What I don't get is, Chad, according to the wording, is this gonna work actually on your turn, or should it be on...
It's not using the correct wording, but it's close enough that it's understandable. Yeah, what it actually means is when the enemy warlord attacks, gain bloodthirst until the end of your next turn, which is what it should be. And
Yeah,
until end of
that's
your turn is since the enemy warlord can only attack during
his turn, then it's
their own
fine.
turn. Technically, that wording, while messy, is not incorrect. So yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
I know how I would fix it.
Go on.
Energy cost of the ability down to 1 energy. Give it siege.
Ooh, yeah, that's better. You know why? The problem is that if he gets the Bloodthirst, then it becomes a little bit annoying because if you attack to open up as Raziel pointed out, you gotta open up the drop pod, right? Because you're kind of forced to do
Which
that.
forces you into doing it again so we can spawn more. I love that. That's such a clever use of mechanics together. So it's very cool there.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you do that every single time, then you get a very scary situation.
The troop it spawns is too powerful is the problem, but it's also the weakest landing troop, so they didn't have anything else they could do. So yeah, 1 energy, give it siege, then it's cool. Because at that point it is 2 energy, spawn a Clonatus, but only if your opponent cooperates. So yeah, I would like that. 1 energy, give it siege. Very cool card then. And it that has soft enough synergy with landing that you can build a landing deck with it, but you could also just try and build something else like drop pod theme, or just use it as generic warlord, or you could even try and build a combo deck out of it, bait your opponent into attacking, and then it's like, haha, bloodthirst, and spawn of Khorne's favor, take like 18 damage. That'd be quite funny. Yeah, Raz, it could have spawned the cheap Requiem guy, but that would be a different archetype, and also it wouldn't fit as well because this guy I haven't read up. I've read up a bit on him, and apparently he's associated with Raldoron's company, who were like the experts at drop pod assault and all that. So
yeah, I mean, flavor-wise, it makes sense.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Lycus.
So, yeah. Right. Oh yeah, me. Sorry. Oh yeah. Yes, Lycus, Marshal of the Retribution Fleet. 2 energy. Sorry, not energy. 235 Imperial Fist Warlord with medium initiative. That's quite speedy for an adult for Imperial Fists. Relentless. If you control no troops, gain Bastion 1. Draw a card. If it's a troop, give it flank. If it is a tactic, reduce its cost by 1. Ooh, that's powerful. Maybe too powerful, because you got to remember there is the really strong Dark Angels Warlord, Aliseri, and he has a very similar effect, but it's weaker, because he has 2 energy give flank to a troop already in your hand. So it's less consistent, but this is also giving you value at the same time. You got to remember that. But there's some interesting stuff going on here. But it's just kind of generic value. But being able to give flank to random stuff is really quite interesting in a lot of cases. I don't know. I quite like this actually.
I mean, it's a very new and different take for the Imperial Fist because
Imperial Fist, right? Cool.
Yeah, that's actually a thing, and I like it because it is special in its own way, right? Because you don't see a lot of that. I always like when you guys like make something very original, something that introduces a type of play that normally you don't see. So yeah, I think that I think that is actually pretty cool. I don't know how strong it is, though, or how weak it is. I would say
Yeah, I think it might be a bit too strong. Maybe I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's still strong probably because giving flank to everything that you draw plus reducing tactic costs is pretty good because again, as you said, Alasari has that ability, right? But now this one has built in too. It draws a card as well on top. So one of the problems with Alasari is that he hits random targets. Thank God they made it so that he doesn't hit the same targets, but like he might run out of resources is his problem, right? This guy will never run out of resources, so he will never run out of ways to stop you, so it's a little bit too much, yeah.
You know what might be interesting? It's a bit of a weird choice for a mechanic, but for Imperial Fist, it interacts very interestingly with their Bastion. What if he had Shutdown to represent the fact that his whole flavor in the lore is him getting like caught off guard and thrown around by the Iron Warriors every time he tries to get his feet? They attack him again and knock him around in the lore. That might be quite interesting. And obviously, if you build up enough Bastion, you can take the hit and not get shut down. That would balance the very powerful active ability potentially.
Yeah, that could be pretty good, yeah. That could be pretty good.
Max says maybe 3 energy. Maybe, but that would be a last resort. You very rarely ever see abilities that cost more than 2 energy on warlords, especially not normal warlords. Like on a reckoning form, maybe, but on an epic or a rare, it seems very strange and non-standard. So you'd have to justify it. But potentially. Archer's suggestion might work too. Although again, that's kind of like gaining Bastion 2 is not that bad either. Maybe it would be like Bastion 1 really weaken him because that active ability by default is very strong. But I like the idea of giving flank to things that normally don't. That gives some interesting opportunities for mechanics. What if it was Vantage though, not flank? So it had a very strange interaction with a lot of Imperial Fist cards. Because they have a lot of active ability stuff, don't they? Oh, Scarabated Troop. Oh, no.
It's okay. We'll still check it out.
Quick, turn it into a warlord and send it in. Teach will be nice, maybe.
Okay, for that, I'm gonna look at the bad background Goran Gorgonson. So, Goran Gorgonson, Apothecary, Clan Lokot. 2 energy, 30 HP, Survivor 5, and has Pride. Adjacent units gain +1, 2. Oh my god!
Wow, that's a lot of health.
That's broken as hell. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, kind of broken and boring is the problem. I'm sorry, man, but like, how would you build that in any way that's unusual? It's just generic value and stats.
It's not about unusual. I have 2 problems with it. You should always try to give a warlord something at least active, because otherwise it becomes like very boring. But that aside, that Pride ability is too strong, okay? Because this is basically whatever you play gains 2 energy. So, not 2 energy, sorry, 2 health and attack on top.
Yeah.
So that means on turn 1, if I'm dropping something with high health, it's basically becoming unkillable.
Yeah, this is a disgusting aggro warlord.
Yeah, and every time I can't kill it, it becomes stronger. So I think it's way too much because, yeah, Raziel pointed out Kargos is already annoying to deal with, right? Only being held back by the fact that he needs to face bash to do what he does.
You're right. This is an even worse Kargos. You're right. Oh my god. That's
disgusting. It's way too dangerous. Way too strong, man. Way too strong.
Yeah. There's also a formatting issue. The 2 should have a plus behind it as well, since it's also a positive integer. Otherwise, I don't see any other wording issues though. Just try and put a background on him next time. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. I did see the attempt to try and balance it with low initiative, by the way. So that's something, I guess. Oh no, I think he's supposed to have a purple as well, just to make him even stronger.
Oh boy.
Oh, I see. Oh, this guy probably plays Warpforge actually, because look, instead of giving him a purple, he's giving him instead of giving an active, he's giving him a reusable.
Oh,
purple.
wait a minute.
That's how they function in Warpforge.
Oh, isn't it? Okay, I see. So he's got a talent. Okay, I get it now. Okay, I get it. All right. So, hey, C3K, what's up, my man? We're here slurping. So, seems fair to me. Put in the shop for $50.
based.
Okay, create 2 augments in your hand. They cost 1 less start of a turn. Return to your hand. Now I get it. So you made the Warforged style of ability. I totally get the idea. However, guys, it's at the end of the day, it's an HHL tournament, so we gotta judge it by HHL standards. But it's still very strong. Like every turn, I can drop something, put 2 augments on it. And then it gains plus. It's too much, man. It's way too much. It's impossible to beat.
Tell you what, how is this for an idea? So keep him low health like that. So you're trying to go for something of him like he buffs adjacent units, right? What about if you had, whenever you target an adjacent troop with an augmetic, give it to the other adjacent troop as well? You could word that better, but and then an active ability would just be like, I know, heal 2 or something. So that it's doubling up on augmetics and augmetic synergies. That might be quite interesting. Doesn't really encourage a different gameplay style though, but you'd want a low to the ground sort of low cost thing, so you could actually consistently get the double augmetics. Oh, hello, you still there, Teach?
Yeah, I am. I'm just thinking. Yeah, I think it's just way too strong. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's fine. It's everyone's first attempt. It has to go somewhere. Obviously they're new from Warforged, so Horus Heresy's a bit slower. It would seem. Speedy, yeah, perhaps, but then you'd have to. Oh, that is true, yeah, because you would be able to do the Clan Raukan thing. But then that combo already works, so it doesn't really change much. Transat, what do I need to relearn? I got one thing wrong with the fucking spear tip, and suddenly, he doesn't know the modern cards.
I got a problem. I got a problem with this card. I think there is potential, and I like that Warforged players are also joining in the HHL. That means we're converting, but what I mean is, even by Warforged standards, this is too much. If this existed in Warforged, like, you would never play anything else. But it's okay, man. Everybody's first submission is like off the charts, so just keep that in mind and submit again, and I think it's gonna be great. So.
Right.
Let's continue.
Mine next, I believe. Yes. Okay.
Alajos.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, with the J. Chapter Master of the Ninth Order. 2 energy. 235, sorry. Dark Angel's Warlord with a high initiative and the 2 energy active ability saying deal 2 damage to an enemy. If the target dies, gain +1 attack and first strike this turn and can act again. That's kind of busted as a control tool. But I don't know. Would it be OP? Kind of. And it just doesn't really incentivize you to build in a different way again. Like, that's just kind of always the problem with Warlords most of the time. They just end up very generic. And to be fair, EG do this a lot. Like, I mean, look at all the Blood Angels Warlords. They all just do the same thing. Like, the new one, Crone, like, he is just completely the same as, what's his name? Ralderon. Like, they're not in any way different from each other. It's boring. I don't know. This guy incentivizes you to play a control-style game at least a little bit, so that would be interesting. He might be a contender with the Lion for a Hexagrammaton build, perhaps, because you can really control the board well. So he'd actually function kind of like a Dark Angels version of old Santar. But I don't know. It's a very weak nudge in that direction. I don't know if that would be enough.
I think the problem with these kinds of things is with almost every online game that I've played. It doesn't matter if it's a MOBA or a card game. Once you start releasing too many cards or too many warlords, you start recycling, which is usually a problem. That's why we got so many warlords in HHL that do the same thing, because reskinned same thing, basically, because sooner or later you kind of run out of ideas. As for this one, yeah, I kind of get the idea behind it. It's late game control. Type of warlord, just gonna control the board. He has to pay some energy to just keep it going. So it's a late game warlord, yeah. It kind of reminds me of Cario, I guess. I mean, it's not too bad. But I'm just thinking, should it have high initiative?
Maybe. I'm just reading up on his lore now to see if we can how we would change it potentially. His most famous thing on the Lexicanum wiki is getting bitch slapped by Lemon Russ.
Oh, this is the guy. Okay, I see. Didn't remember.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
Okay, let's just move on then. I have the same opinion on it. I think it's just a little bit generic.
Oh, I'm just trying to see how you could possibly change it. That was all. But yeah, I don't really know enough
No,
about it.
I might tell you. I don't think it needs much of a change. I think that it's okay actually. I wouldn't say it's bad. I just would say that the problem with it is not original because you already got Corswain that does a similar thing. Kinda, and most Dark Angels warlords these days still play Hexagrammaton, so
Yeah. Well, Alisari does similar things too, since with the sneak attack is functionally very similar to First Strike, isn't it? So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, yours next, I believe.
Abdaziel Magron. Battle Honor gains Duplicitous until your next turn. And 1 energy gains Sneak Attack for the next attack this turn. Can act once more. Oh, okay. They're very similar, by the way. I think this is, again, Cross versus Zermal. Cross, don't hate me, Cross, but I like this one better this time. I think this is actually really cool. It's a similar take, but the difference is that Defenders of Caliban don't really have this kind of thing, because most Warlords of Defenders of Caliban just focus on bashing your face to infinity, just dropping shit and then just killing you. This is the first one. Oh, I mean, this kinda, I guess, but at least the ability is not made towards that, right? Because
well, yeah, well, 1 energy deal 2 to the enemy warlord, that can still function as a burn tool.
well, he does have 30 HP though.
True.
Which is little.
I don't know. They don't really have any synergy with what he does, though. That's the thing. Like, there's no duplicitous synergy really with warlords. Typically, it's just a defensive tool. And the gain sneak attack, like they don't have any buffs for their warlords. They don't have any like health regain or anything. The neutral tools are all very lackluster. I don't really see what you do with him or how he change your build again. So same issue as a lot of the other warlords.
Well, that is true. It's not changing the build, but it does open up a little bit of a control option. So
somewhat,
yes, that works.
Yeah, I don't see any formatting issues. I don't believe.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Should maybe have a full stop at the end of next turn, but otherwise not much. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Turn, can act once more. Yep, you even used once more instead of can act again. Well done. All right. Yeah, no, I don't see any other issues. It's just I don't think it'll be very interesting to build around at all. Sorry. All right. Next one, is it me, I believe? Right.
Yes.
Phocron, 235 Alpha Legion Warlord with medium initiative. Headhunter Prime, Terran Theatre. You spelt theatre wrong. We're British. That's a minor thing. Yeah, secret identity, of course. 2 energy, give a sneak attack to a friendly Astartes this turn. Astartes should be capitalized. It gains stealth.
What?
Well, it's basically a modal ability because obviously if you attack with it, it loses the stealth immediately. So you can either choose for it to maintain its stealth or it can get a free hit in, your choice. So I like the modularity of that. Also, there is synergy with ambush, although they don't have much ambush, but there is a little ambush in Elf Legion.
There's some.
Yeah. I quite like that. That's reasonably flexible. It's appropriately costed for 2 energy. I don't know if it would change much as a thing besides the ambush synergy that we talked about before. I suppose there isn't really like an actual Astartes focused game plan for these guys at the moment. Like none of the warlords support that. They all just do trap bullshit or stuns or mission. None of them really care about having big beefy Astartes that can get free hits in. One thing I would say is maybe it needs something to do when there are no Astartes in play, because like you can't always guarantee that. But then again, you would build around him if you were going to do that. So I suppose that's not a problem. And he does have a secret identity when he's not Phocron. So you just use the normal active ability of the Legionnaire until
Max is right. My guy is the better Shadrach Medusan.
Pretty much, yeah. And what does the secret identity do? Reveal your true identity, draw a card, remove all traps in the enemy deck, gain +2 attack this turn for each card removed. Woof. Okay, you could do a combo with that. That's a combo deck right there if you get enough traps in the enemy deck. I think the problem with that is that would be too easy of a kill with Khorne's Favor and Orders from Terror. Is Orders from Terror rotated yet? Or is it still in the game? It's still in the game, isn't it?
No, it has rotated.
It has rotated. Okay, cool. Yes, it has. Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, but the Corn's Favor combo would still be quite brutal. What is that? Get 3 traps in the enemy deck. That's very doable. You'd go up to 8 attack. You'd go up to 9 attack with Corn's Favor. That's an 18 damage combo for 5 energy. That's kind of brutal. I would say change that to +1 attack this turn for each card removed, and that feels fair. Even then, you could still do some pretty disgusting things with that. But it is interesting. It kind of feels like it pulls the deck in different directions. Is the only thing.
Again, just like it was with one of Ozzy's cards in the past, I really like it when there's the trap synergy with Alpha Legion that like removes the traps and gives you something. I think it's really cool. But it's a bit too strong, yeah.
Yeah, +1 attack would probably be acceptable. Yeah, I think. And maybe remove the draw a card element, because again, that's quite combo. Yeah, +1 attack, and I think that'd be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. But yeah, I like that. There's a lot of interesting things going on there. You could build that in a lot of different ways. You build that as combo, you build that as a Starties, you could build that as like ambush, which would still be a Starties, but it would be a sub-theme. Yeah, that's potential there. Alright, you're next, I believe?
Yep. Oh, Ares Voitek of the Knights Errant. So we got 230, an epic. Shad's gonna go nuts. Deeds Endure, a special card. So 3 energy ability. It's hitting all the spots that Chad hates. Give -1/0 to all enemy units. And gain +1/0 for each unit affected until the start of your next turn. Oh, I see. So you basically, it's a very serious anti-aggro tool, but at the same time, pretty interesting actually. And Deeds Endure is 9 energy. Oh, that's a cool art though. So it says discard or seal tactics in your hand. Put in play an Iron Hands Astartes of 5 cost or higher for each card discarded this way. Okay, you know what? I love the special. That's actually not bad. This guy will have a difficulty generating seals though. He has no way to do that.
Yeah, that's weak, because the problem is all of your seals are more valuable than the things that you're summoning.
Also, the problem is that you're not easily going to be getting seals, and your ability is only 3 energy. Actually, it's 3 energy. I think the ability should be 2, honestly.
Yeah,
Because he can't really ever use it offensively.
Yeah, I don't really know what you do with that. I mean, the Deeds Endure thing is leaning towards get a lot of seals in your hand, but like it's not strong enough to justify that. You'd rather play the seals, most likely. Like for 9 energy, if you had 3 seals in your hand, what are the odds that they're all shit and you can't use them for anything? Like imagine if you had Seal of the Sisterhood, Secret of the Throne, and then one of the useless ones that's dead in your hand at the moment.
Oh,
like you would still rather just play those cards, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, seals are obviously better, but Raziel also said a specific thing. This means that it's permanently debuffing. Because look at this.
No, not the way it's worded.
You sure? Because yes. You're right. Because it has
there is no comma, so the abilities are not separated. They are all tied together into one effect.
I still think it should be 2 energy. Yeah,
potentially.
Because at 3 it's weak. Don't you think that at 3 it's going to be a little weak?
Probably, and I don't see why he's 235 as well. Like, this guy was mega beefy. He should definitely have Survivor, because he survived a brawl involving Horus. That's from what I understand of him. I don't know a whole lot about him, to be honest, but, that's what I know of him. I don't see how you'd build him, and I don't know if it captures the flavor of the character very well. I know that he endures, but also he's supposed to be, like, tanky and tough, not just debuffing. That's more of like a tricksy Raven Guard style of surviving a fight. Yeah. He should be taking the hits full power and just ignoring them. Yeah.
XD2C says Strong versus Defender of Caliban. Not really, because they're just gonna shoot you with Jaegers.
Yeah.
They don't really care about that -1.
Mm.
Yeah, I think for me personally, the problem is the anti-synergy between the two things, because like you're not getting any seals, and if you do get the seals, you prefer that over these endure. Maybe if it was higher cost stuff, then yes.
If you had orders from Terror in the pool still, you could theoretically do a combo, but it would rely on your opponent having a full board. So, like,
Plus, I think it shouldn't be Astartes; it should be vehicles, because in Iron Hands, vehicles are the good cards.
yeah.
I think that's the thing.
You know what I would do? Give him like an ability that's like 1 energy, gain +1 attack until your next turn, +1 attack, and rage. Create a seal in your deck until your next turn. So that way your opponent is like, oh, if I attack him, I'm going to give him seals. I've got to be careful with this. And you can do like weird self-synergy stuff. So he endures, he's tough. That sort of thing.
Fair enough.
Maybe. I don't know. That's one idea. I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, it wouldn't really change much as it is right now. Anyway, me next? Oh, right. Coq au vin. I don't know why I brought this up last time, and now it's come back to haunt me again. So yeah, it's this is Cockrell in wine, rather. Brain rot animal. 2/2, Bastion 38, first strike, terror, unstoppable, gain +1 until attacks next turn. And the most beautiful AI generated art I've ever seen.
What a little.
Thank you for your submission.
Hey guys, I mean, you got to like. You made Shad say cock again on stream, so I guess that's worth it. So
I'm always happy for more cock. Anyway.
I
think you're gonna have to take the next one because I don't speak communist.
Okay, let me take this one. Though it's a Toramino again. So again, it says commander of the how's it called again? Bezash, right? Okay, there you go. So it's a 2 energy 35 warlord. It has 2 energy, deal 2 damage with Ordnance 2. And if the target dies, it drops a barricade in the game. And it has a medium initiative. Ooh. So basically, if it does destroy whatever it is, it drops a barricade. So this is more of a defensive one.
Yeah, I don't see how you like build around it again is the problem, but it's flavorful. I understand the flavor, and I like having ordnance on the ability. That's pretty cool. That's a good way of getting the flavor of the Store Bazashkin, even if I dislike ordnance as a mechanic personally. But yeah, it's got the same problem most of the warlords do. How do you build this any differently from a normal Iron Warriors deck? Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with it is, as you say, it's like it doesn't really incentivize any original type of play. Though I guess the flavor is still okay, because sieging and making barricades, so pushing forward, making trenches, positions, and so on. So this guy is supposed to be the siege master. So yeah, does make sense. Or as Max said, making barricades out of the corpses of your enemies. So
yeah. That would be one way to do it. Well, the thing is, Grey Dog, he's not supposed to buff structures especially. He's supposed to destroy them. He's a breaching squad expert or a siege expert. That's his thing. So, like, that's more Forex's thing, like someone said. Anyway. But yeah, I've not got much to add to that. Do you, Teach? I can't criticize the wording or the formatting because I can't read that.
Sombrero Alien actually makes a good point. So, how is it boring when we had Angron with Berserk +1 a few years ago? I actually think you got a good point there. Yeah.
Which one is Sombrero Aliens?
The Warforged type of card.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Angron is boring too, but but the thing is, Angron actually forces you to play a specific kind of deck, so at least it makes the deck unique. Because if you put
that's what I wanted to say.
You're not getting the value out of your ability. So yeah, it's that at least forces you to build in a weird way. Whereas Goran Gorgonson, that's just a generic warlord Iron Hands deck, except it's also got a mega buff aggro warlord attached to it that's really powerful. So yeah, it's very hard to design warlords. Don't take it personally, Sombrero Alien. Honestly, they're the hardest thing to make in the game and actually have them feel unique and different and fun to build around.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Angron, I mean, I wouldn't say he was the most fun warlord. What Angron really had going for himself was that he was fast and you could play fast games.
Yeah. But he
But
did at
yeah,
least somewhat incentivize a different build. Yeah. Anyway,
hello,
next one.
Lorderites. Okay,
Right.
let's move on. Ooh, Ekaddon.
Kalus Ekaddon, 235, Epic Sons of Horus Warlord, medium initiative, captain of the Catchalan Reavers, unstoppable. He does have a jetpack. Well done. I'll let you off on that. It looked like a normal backpack for a while. I was going to criticize that. When you trigger Spear Tip, gain Cleave 2 on your next attack. 2 energy, give +1 attack to adjacent troops. Can act again. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Okay. The Cleave 2 should probably read on your until your this turn, because right now you can stack it infinitely, but then that might be intentional, and if so, that's kind of interesting too. So we'll read it as is, I suppose. And I like how the +1 attack interacts with his own troop, Catchalan Reavers, and other fast attack troops, because obviously you can immediately deploy that if you immediately play the Catchalan Reavers. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder if it's strong enough is the question, though. Although the fact it's can act again improves its power budget, I suppose. So yeah, I suppose it's fine. I don't know if it really changes how you build it again is the problem. Oh, no, wait, hang on. That +1 attack is permanent. Shit, I thought that was this turn. Yeah, that's... Okay. That's stronger than I first thought.
I gotta say it's very flavorful though, because he is the Catchalan Reaver captain, so he's supposed to be that guy.
And bonus points for making his own art, of course.
Max says, sorry if this is out of topic, but I gotta ask how many card tournaments you have made. With how many card tournaments you have made, how have you not made a card game once again?
Well, the problem is it's hard to code things like that. I actually have worked on a card game with a friend for a while. I'll get him to. He's actually in the Discord. I'll get him to drop a link at some point. But yeah. Well, I've looked into certain things like that, but the problem is coding. Coding is the hard part. It's easy to theorize. This stuff is just thinking. Doing is harder. What do you think, Teach? Would you?
I'd say so. It has the typical problem. It's a great card on paper. Great warlord. I like it, but it's just not original again because it's the typical Sons of Horus Spiritive deck. You're not gonna be. You're not gonna be doing anything different. But otherwise, it's good. No problem with it.
Yeah. It's true that people are saying you can stack it up. It's quite interesting, and there's a lot of Draker memeing going on in the chat. Yeah, I don't see how you change the build at all, but that is a very flavorful card, and I appreciate the art personally.
Fair enough.
You next, I believe.
Shiban Khan, Brotherhood of the Storm. 2 energy, 30 HP. Gain +1 this turn. When you put in play a troop and it dies this turn. And 1 energy, gain Survivor 1. Oh my god. So basically you gotta... again, I think it suffers from the same thing. It's suffering from the fact that you're just playing the typical white scars. You're putting all the flankers... And as they just face bash, you just go face. Face bash or French good anything.
I think this suffers from the fact that I don't think there's enough troops in the White Scars pool to even make it work properly as a thing. Like there are flankers in their deck, but a lot of them don't actually die when you play them. Ideally, they get shuffled back into the deck, or they have First Strike, or they get a free hit in with Sneak Attack, and most of them don't die when you play them. So I don't think he'd even work is the problem. I don't think the card pool would support him. I don't hate the idea though. It's interesting. But yeah, I don't know if it works. But yeah, the combination of cards is interesting, and the flavorful ability, the active ability. This guy survived all of those injuries with his mechs and all that. His automatics. I like that. Also the wording's a bit wrong. It should be gain +1 attack this turn when a troop you played this turn dies. Would be a more elegant way of doing it. But yeah, I don't know. There's a good idea in here, but it needs another pass, I think. What is that? Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because currently, in its current form, it's a little bit...
It just doesn't really work. It's Combike cycle. That's the only thing it works with really well. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right.
Ooh.
Aphone Ire. I don't know this character. 235, Sisters of Silence Warlord. Raptor Guard. Okay. First time a friendly troop dies each turn, gain +1 attack and terror until end of turn. 2 energy, gain +1 attack and bloodthirst until the end of your turn. Okay, so she can buff herself, but only once. Okay. That's interesting. And the fact she can gain terror makes her a control warlord because you can get 3 kills in, but only by low attack. Well, this is an archetype that they don't have yet, which is a control attack based warlord. I mean, technically, Kazrin does have attack synergy with her battle honor, but that's in terms of value. It's not a control tool, really, because she won't. She'll eventually run out of health and just die. You know, you won't be able to continue doing that forever. Whereas this really is like a very hard control game plan. I don't know if I think it's strong enough is the thing. I don't think you would be able to use that in a way that would get you there. And the active ability is kind of strange in a lot of ways as well.
Oh, come on, man. It's been like half an year and we still got bulls in the chat. Oh my god. The bull.
It's the titties have summoned her.
And hello, Lord. The bull. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. It's again, this one feels like there's a good idea in here, but it needs more work because I don't think it works as intended right now. How would you change this? So she herself gaining terror is part of the gimmick, isn't it? I don't know. Would it be like whenever an enemy troop dies, gain +1 attack this turn or something like that?
Yeah, most probably.
You could do something like
I mean, I like how it's trying to fill in a gap.
Yeah.
But the problem, again, that I have with it is that...
Yeah.
The problem is that, I mean, it's original. I don't want to say it has like a big problem. It's just that, like...
It kind of forces them in a direction they're already going is the thing as well. Because, like, Sisters of Silence are always trying to do this sort of mid-rangey control thing. So...
Oh, look at that. Ecclesiarch, if you want to forfeit the battle, I'll accept gracefully, just so you know. I got a tabletop game after this, so he's taunting me. Yeah,
is this on tabletop sim or IRL?
Not IRL because he's away. Not this time.
Fair.
So, here's the thing. The first time a friendly troop that... I like the idea. Let me just say about it. I like the idea because this is something that they're lacking. More like a duelist type of warlord or a control type of warlord. I just think that it needs a little bit more polishing.
Yeah. I don't really know what to do with it. The once a turn thing kind of kills it as well, actually. Yeah, maybe just remove that restriction. It might be a bit busted potentially in places, but it would give it something. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think yeah. All right. Me, I believe, yes.
No, that would be me.
Oh, you, okay. I don't know this guy.
Lorik Melakkon, the Vexillum, 2 energy, 35. When you trigger Spear Tip, reduce the cost of a random troop with Drop Pod in your hand by 1. And 2, give Drop Pod to a random Astartes in your hand. Ooh. This is interesting.
This guy's from another game, apparently. That's interesting. I never played it.
This is pretty interesting. I mean, it's again. Again, I have the same problem. I like it. I really do. But the problem that I have again is that it's the same Sons of Horus deck, right?
Yeah, again. It's always the problem, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same problem with my own card, right? It would still be the Thousand Suns deck, so.
Yes, that is my problem with that as well, yeah. Oh man. Mine kind of has that problem, to be fair, but it also, like, it pushes it in a very sort of late game control deck, because the longer the game goes, the more of your free 0 cost, like, strategy boosts you get. So, yeah.
Are we coming to a conclusion that maybe it's an HHL problem?
No, it can be done, but it is difficult. It's just a very hard thing to do, to shape a whole deck and recontextualize a whole faction's card pool with a warlord. very difficult.
By the way,
Yeah.
Shad, I had a late submission from Greedog,
Oh, yeah.
so just make sure to refresh your thing later, okay?
Oh yeah, sure. Also, the power level issues with this guy as well. He's too weak. Like triggering Spear Tip as a passive, giving like discounting your troops by 1 is nice, but you can only do that once per turn potentially, and the active ability is awful. Also, he has no initiative, so there's a wording issue there. But yeah. Oh, and the art is a bit low res. Maybe stick that through an AI upscaler, but otherwise it's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
I got another late submission. Wait. Oh my fucking god. Okay, never mind. Somebody just resent the bull.
Oh no.
Oh.
Stop it. No more cucking. We're done. No more cuckery.
No more, people. No more.
Femboy Aloseri. Why Aloseri in particular? Is it because
Oh
of
my
like he's got a really good
God.
hip, like got a thigh gap, does he?
Oh boy, what is this supposed to be? Oh my god, Nikona, this time she's locking in, and it's a... What is this even? Unstoppable. Each point of healing you make counts as an extra point of healing. Heals 3 to your units, deal 1 damage to all enemy units equal to the extra healing point. What the hell is going on? Nikona, matriarch of the Maid Marines?
Why are there so many?
Oh my god. Resolution transformant. Oh god. What is going on?
Whoever this person is, they need to report themselves to the Arbites right now.
Guys, oh my god. Shad?
What? Oh, yeah, right. Ask the gay guy what his opinion on maids are. All right, sure. Fucking homophobe.
Oh my god.
Ooh, yeah. No. None of that.
Let us move on.
Yes, please.
Kasati Nuon. No, nope, you're not in the spam. I got you out. You were in the spam, but I got you out.
All right. Kasati Nuon, the Night Lord's Defector, 235, Night Azen Raven Guard Warlord. No initiative, instant fail. No, I'm kidding. I mean, we'll let you off. All right, so Murder, gains stealth. Interesting. Day of Revenge, a purple. Purples always go at the top, so slight error formatting there. Revenge should be capitalized as well. 2 energy, deal 1 damage. If the target survives and it is a troop, deal 2 more damage. Next time, give can't attack to an enemy. Well, you don't need to specify if the target survives, of course, because you know it's like that's a given. So it could just be deal 1 damage. If the target is a troop, deal 2 more damage to it. That would be enough. But yeah, next time give can't attack to an enemy. Yeah, and Day of Revenge is 4 energy purple. Your warlord takes 4 damage and gains ambush, deal 4 damage to a random enemy. Put Sergeant Heklan into play. Which one's Sergeant Heklan? Is that a Night Lord troop or a...
I don't remember which one that is.
I will find it quickly. Give me a second. Alright, no, it's a It's a Raven Guard troop, apparently. Oh, yeah, it's a 4 energy 3/5 with front line. Give 2 energy, give 1 sentence 1 to all enemies this turn. I don't understand the flavor of that, but I'm assuming that they had like a camaraderie or brotherhood, so that's why he summons that guy. Which, if so, that's nice flavor. And the fact that it synergizes interestingly with his passive of Murder is quite cool. I don't know how you build him though. Again, like it would just be another Raven Guard deck, really. I suppose you'd use stuff that can give the Warlord stealth, but to my knowledge, there's only
Maybe
one
more
card
late game.
Yeah, but to my knowledge, there's only one card that gives the Warlord stealth, which is the Lunar Eclipse. So, and that's already just an auto include, so it wouldn't really change deck building. But I like the flavor. Maybe give him a background next time, though. That would be my one complaint. But
Fair
the
enough.
use of Murder in a faction where it doesn't belong, but flavorfully does fit, is pretty cool. How would you change it to make it work, be more unique, I suppose? I'm
actually not sure.
What if it had something like? Oh no, I was going to say that'd be too busted. But what if it had something like as a passive, all your units have murder, gain stealth? But that would be too busted because it'd be too easy to like chain sneak attack hits with it on from what is it, the 5 energy 4/4 with sneak attack ambush. That'd be too easy.
He'd be a little bit annoying as hell, to be honest.
Yeah,
Permanent with stealth.
there's a good idea in here though. I'm sure something to do with murder and like having it interact with Raven Guard mechanics would be quite interesting. But yeah, I don't see it though off the top of my head. But yeah, it's good flavor.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting, but does need more stuff.
Yeah, and the wording's a bit messy in a lot of places, but that's fine. Yours next, I believe.
Yeah, Emrelia Herkazi or Herkaze or whatever. Don't remember. Herkazi, probably, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sister Excruciatis. Is this the one that's from that short story where she... I think she... I don't remember what exactly happens to her. I think this is one of the first Sisters of Silence who actually starts worshipping the Emperor as a god or something.
Yep, that's what the wiki says. I haven't read the book either, but yeah, she is.
There was this short story about, like, if you any of you guys in the chat refresh my memory, where like there's one Sister of Silence just going somewhere and she finds out that she's trying to get a message from the future warning about the Horus Heresy, but then I think Emrelia executes her or something. I don't remember. I read it so long ago. Anyway, so Battle Honor, create Judge's Verdict in your hand and gets a sneak attack. Very well. And Judge's Verdict, give sentenced 1 to the enemy unit until your next turn. Well, obviously, because this is a Sister Excruciatis, so kind of makes sense. Yeah, Raziel, I remember that it was a very good short story. I just read it so long ago, I can't recall what was happening exactly. But yes, I think that I get the idea. You could actually stack these, right?
Yeah, but they're too expensive to do anything like from hand as a combo, so it's really just a generic like value and damage piece. So like the potential's there, but yeah, I think those judges' verdicts needed to cost 0, and then it would have been, you could have built like an interesting combo turn out of it. But as is, it's just like clunky value pieces stacking in your hand. So it's a weird carrier Kazrin, basically. That's all there is to it. Which is a shame, because like the character has a lot of interesting flavor and lore you could work with, I think.
Yeah, the short story is pretty good, and it does have very weird mindfuck stuff there, so you could
being
do that.
The first believer, yeah, there's a lot of potential for that, isn't there?
Yes, there is. So for sure. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
next is yours.
All right, Vorks 235 Death Guard Warlords. Low initiative. I don't quite know how you managed to make the initiative not have the color, but well done. That's a thing I've not seen break before. So well done for that. Revolting Resilience, which is a purple card, and it has gains Cleave 2 at the start of your turn if your opponent controls more troops. Battle Honor, draw a card. It costs 1 less. Okay, so there's that's a lot of card draw potentially, because the cleave will trigger Battle Honor. It's a control tool because your opponent isn't allowed to have more troops than you, otherwise you get a buff, which is interesting. No active ability, which is also interesting. And 3 energy, your warlord gains invulnerable until your next turn, which has a temporary 1-use ability, is interesting. Again, there's the heart of a good idea in here, because the fact that you can stack cards like this and they act as a control stall tool is interesting, but the lack of an active ability seems out of place. The purple, it's just there, and it's not enough to really build a control combo build up. Like, you can't guarantee what you draw, and it just turns into a generic value tool. So yeah,
I think honestly my only issue with this is that it doesn't have an active, which kind of makes it boring. But otherwise, I do like the idea of having this, because it's a very different approach to Death Guard. So
it has potential, yeah, for sure. It'd be very strong with the the 6 energy Harbinger of Decay as well.
Oh yeah,
like, that stacks with the cleave.
Yeah, give it an active and it's gonna be good. Okay, moving on.
Every time someone says cleave 2, we're just gonna get fucking Drager memes, aren't we?
Well, look who it is. Ra Endymion. I'm surprised there weren't
Hey,
more of this guy.
my
So,
guy. I made this guy, and he was too busted, so I failed. But yeah.
all right, 235. First strike. When a friendly Custodes dies during your opponent's turn, gain +2 on your next turn. Battle Honor. Deal excess damage to an adjacent unit. Ooh. Okay. All right. Okay, I can kind of see the flavor because of the whole Webway massacre thing, but what I think is, and I'm just gonna put it out there, I think Ra has a chance of better flavor because he's important mostly for other things, right?
Well,
So
defending the like scientists in the Webway, wasn't he? He wasn't defending his own men, his Custodes. He was defending everyone else. So I would say make it so it's not just Custodes, right?
yeah, and plus on top of that, like this is the guy who isn't this the guy who got like possessed by Draconian and just jumped to
Technically, it never possessed him, but yes.
well, not possessed, like the Emperor put it in him basically and just
Yeah.
told him run, right? So
Yeah. Get this thing away from me before it murders me. Yeah.
so I'd say it has maybe more potential there, but now let's look at it as it is. It's interesting that it buffs you during the next turn because
it would just be an exemplar build, right?
Yeah, probably. Special card gets stabbed by the Emperor.
I actually did that.
That does sound flavorful though.
Yeah. My version was too busted. I need to rework it.
I got the same problem again. It's gonna be an exemplar build.
Yeah, it's some stuff you can do with it, but yeah, and also native first strike is very strong by default. Also, there's no active ability again, which is strange.
Whenever we're making warlords, this is what the main criticism usually is. They're all usually the same as typical, so that's the problem.
Yeah,
it is not a problem that other cards usually have, right? But the warlords, yeah, they have it.
Because having similar cards doing similar things in a normal faction, like tactics or wall or troops, that's useful still. You can use them to create redundancy or to fill slots and to reinforce an archetype. But warlords, you can't combo them. There is an opportunity cost. If you're running one warlord, you're not running the others. So they have to compete with each other by definition. So making something that does the same thing that another warlord already does, it just doesn't add anything to the game. You'll just run the one that does the thing better. It's like what was this? Loken versus like Abaddon, for example. They basically do the same thing. It's just Loken does it better because he could target the enemy warlords, and it was like he drew an extra card and all that. It was just more flexible. So Abaddon never saw any play. Loken never really saw much play either. But or Horus versus Loken. Just all of the old Sons of Horus warlords really had this problem.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay.
What's a modern example? I'm looking for one. Hang on.
Modern example? I'll give you one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
What's yours? Hang on. What's yours?
I think that was my one as well. So
it was going to be yours, was it?
I mean, it's simple.
Yeah.
And apart from that, like then you also got, for example, the other one is Erlin versus Modern Argyltal.
Yeah.
Well, Argyltal is just in every way better. So yes.
Well, Salamanders, all of their like warlords are just like, oh, do a thing with artifacts, do a thing with artifacts, do a thing with artifacts. The only one that's different is Vulcan.
Yeah.
So like all the other ones are artifact synergy in some way. And so you just pick the best one, which is Forge Father to kill after they nerf Numion. Like none of them do anything interesting, except for Tekel. Well, not even Tekel. Tekel's boring too. He's just the best one. Anyway, yeah. Very hard to design warlords. Anyway, mine next, I believe.
Yeah, Kasperos Telmar.
Radiant King in his joyful repose and witness to Byzas. 235. Wow, pretty boy art. Interesting. High initiative. He has a purple, Feast of Souls. Stun enemies damaged in combat. 0 energy. Trigger the perfection of the last played card. Oh, so it's double perfection. Interesting. Okay, and his active is 1 energy, destroy friendly troop, and refill energy equal to the number of troops destroyed this turn. Interesting. So you can do some combo with it if you can get a good AoE.
This is not exactly good because whatever attacks this guy gets stunned.
Yes, it is.
This is abusive as hell.
It's a very warlord focused, like a late game focused one, yeah, because you can't let people can't attack you very easily. So yeah, maybe that's a little strong.
I mean, it's never good. Permastan warlords are always toxic.
This one's not really a free one though, because you need to actually hit the enemy warlord to stun them. So
you don't need to waste the energy on it though.
Also true. Yes. So probably too strong.
The ability in general to keep. Let me give you a good example. Like anybody here who. So in HHL, one of the main things that kind of balanced out the Permastan warlords like Decima or Mortarion is that they have to use their turn for that, right?
Yeah.
And currently in Warpforge we got Jane Zar, who can stun with her talent, meaning she can also attack afterwards. And you guys can tell me, whoever plays Warforged, how much you're enjoying playing against that. So
yeah, all three of you.
So you can basically say if you enjoy that. So yeah,
I don't play that game. Still glad not playing it, not touching it. Fuck that game.
So I think this would be too much, especially considering the ability is 0 as well, and he's got 35 HP.
Yeah. I like the double perfection trigger idea. That's cool. That hasn't been done yet. Although it seems like obvious, but again, it wouldn't change how you build a deck again, because like you just build an Emperor's Children deck and you'd run the best perfection cards like a normal Emperor's Children deck. You don't need a lot of them. You just need one every turn, so you wouldn't have to like run a critical mass of perfection cards. Tell you what it could be instead: 0 energy, trigger the perfection. Trigger the perfection of all cards played this turn. So you don't have to have gotten them right.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Spam the shit out of like all of your low cost crappy perfection cards, and then like play 0 energy, and they still go off, and it'll be quite interesting, and like you could get multiple hits. Yeah,
that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, but the passive is just too strong, like you said, and I don't like the flavor. I get, but like it's just a ritual. You're not doing anything interesting with it. So maybe if it was like 1 energy, destroy a friendly troop, regain energy equal to its cost, and gain life equal to its cost, or something like that. I don't know, something like that. Gain life equal to its health or to its attack. Actually, yeah, that would be interesting.
Fair enough. Kol Badar, captain of the 34th Company, the Silencer, 2 energy, gain Bloodthirst and Requiem. Heal 1 to your warlord until your next turn. And the Silencer is 4 energy. Your warlord gains shield, and when attacking, stunned attack. Your next attack. On your next attack only, okay? And 8 offerings remove on your next attack.
So it's permanent if you wait long enough. Okay.
Oh, come on, 8 offerings.
Well, that's not so bad. That's a world breaker, but it's you have to work for it and pay for it.
Yes.
So, like compare it to the Spear of Dionysus that Space Wolves used to have. That was 6 energy.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah, but that's my point. You had to pay 6 energy to get it, and it was on an actual warlord faction.
Plus, this one is when attacking, so
yeah, exactly. So
I think that's an AI art, by the way, but it looks pretty good.
It looks it, but it's I don't see any flaws in it, so it's quite well done. I don't see how you'd really change the build again. Although I suppose it wants to throw like crap away and like murder its own things, but then that's every word.
So it's kind of different. I actually kind of like this one because it's more of a duelist word bearer, I guess, because you also got the Requiem, so you're also healing as well as getting offering. So he just wants to throw. Yeah, go on.
You don't actually get to use that Bloodthirst. Remember, that Bloodthirst is just there so that you can actually do a thing, like you can act once more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not any further. Yeah. So. I don't see it. I feel like this is just doing the same thing that all other word bearers are doing, which is you play cheap crap and then you murder it for your own gain and benefit. It's no different.
Maybe give him a Requiem as a passive and give him a different active. Maybe that could be pretty good.
Yeah, that could work. What's this guy's lore? I don't know this guy. I don't know any of these. These are all very obscure, so well done on that.
Yeah, most choices were pretty good.
Let's Google him and see what his thing was. Kolbadar, who are you? One of the most capable commanders of the Wordbearer Legion, known for his keen strategic mind and dogmatic approach to warfare. He was a giant as well, so he was a big lad. That explains his son. Yeah. What else did he do? What else was he famous for? He was badly burned by Phosphex, which is brutal. He was a Coryphaus, which I have no idea what that is. It's the senior most captain. Oh, okay, so he was basically Lorgar's second in command when it came to military matters, because Erebus was just a dick that Teen killed. He wasn't really a military tactician.
Yes.
he says he kills his own troops a lot, but then that's again, lots of them do that.
I mean, technically speaking, if he's killing his own troops, Requiem is kinda flavorful, because Requiem, the whole idea between Requiem is how much the Blood Angels are affected by their allies dying.
You're ascribing meaning to the actual name of the mechanic, which you are right. That is what Requiem means. It's a
I mean, lore-wise, that's why it's supposed to be, is what I mean, right? So it's supposed to be a lament. But if you're murdering your own troops, it's not really a lament, right?
This is more of an EG problem, though, isn't it? Because they've flavored a mechanic with a word that it shouldn't really have. Because, like, if a thing next to you dies, shouldn't really have been a Blood Angels specific mechanic. Come on, let's be real. There's plenty of other factions that could use that, right?
Well, that could be.
I don't really see what you do with him off the top of my head, but I like the Silencer purple. I just don't like the rest of it because it doesn't change how you build them. This guy should have been their duelist warlord, actually. How would you build it? Tell you what, Requiem gain +1 attack this turn. How about that? That'll be interesting.
That would be better, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you could do something with that. Yeah, okay. Make him their big beefy boy. All right.
Love the Tiberos on Teach's Wall. Fair enough, yeah. I love that too. Okay, Ethan. Oh my God, oh my God, what the hell?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
That's how I pronounce it.
Reeve, I guess.
Raive.
Raive, the Inductii chieftain. Okay, a lot of difficult words there. Resolution, gain front line until the next enemy attack. If you don't control a troop with a drop pod. Ooh.
No, if you do control a troop with.
Oh, if you do, okay. No. 1 energy, 1 damage to a random enemy twice. If any die, this unit can act again.
Okay, well, kudos for making drop pod synergy, but I don't really. I guess he defends drop pod troops very well, so you'd be able to play like very high risk, high reward drop pod troops, but those don't really exist as the problem.
This could be a great Blood Angels warlord.
Yeah, he'd be a great Blood Angels warlord, but it's in the wrong faction. Damn it! Although to be honest, it would probably be kind of toxic in a Blood Angels. Well, no, because it's only until he's attacked. It's not permanent. If it was permanent, it would be toxic. But this way, you can play around it. Okay. You know what? Yeah. If this guy was a Blood Angels warlord, he'd be excellent. I agree. Although the active ability is still kind of boring, right?
Yeah, active ability is very boring. But otherwise, I mean, again, if this was a Blood Angels warlord, I'd love it much more. Is what I'm gonna say.
No, I think I agree with that. In fact, you know what? He should have Alaseri's ability. Now I think about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because then you have the option of like, do I keep the troop in the drop pod so that I can get the front line, or do I flank it in straight away and again use the landing and blah 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 blah. That would be very cool with the old Blood Angels roster. Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Give him Alaseri's ability and put him in Blood Angels, and I'd like him.
Taken.
Yeah, new Blood Angels don't have a drop pods at all. They don't have drop pods. They don't have landing. Like, what? So sad. Yeah, Cross and Transcend. We live in a world where Legacy is the main game mode because, like, why would you just delete half of your card pool, right? That would be a silly thing. EG would never do that, right?
Of course not.
Next. No drop pod? Why don't they have drop pod?
Hideous Crawl.
That is an excellent name. I don't know who this guy is, but that name is amazing. It's a troop. This is the troop one. Okay. 4 energy, 2/6. Your opponent can't draw cards. Oh, fucking hell. Really? Wow. On backlash, your opponent draws a troop that gets -1/-1. I mean, dude, that ability is ridiculous. Come on. Cool idea, but what the fuck?
That is so disgusting.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa.
It's so evil, I love it. And you can get 2 of those.
Oh my god, yeah, whoa.
And if you're playing Typhon, you can abuse this so much. Oh my god.
Anyway, yes. So, moving on.
Okay, so
You next, I believe?
Okay. Did you
This is the lowest effort meme. Come on, guys. Do better.
What the fuck? This is the This is so good. This is so good. This is just perfect.
I am upset. I'm upset this was submitted.
I think that was the goal shot.
Well done, you succeeded.
Okay, so let's.
Angie.
Oh wait, we're leaving Liskian for the last actually. So.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Wait a minute. There was something else. Why can't I?
There's T.S. Herzog, and have you uploaded some others as well?
Where's the?
All right, I'll go T.S. Herzog, shall I then?
Where is it? Wait. Oh, okay. There you go. T.S. Herzog. Fictus Gemini. 2 energy. 2 attack, 30 HP with epic. Shad's gonna go crazy. And secret identity. Battle honor. Move each trap into your deck to 1 card higher. That's so cool. 2 energy, gain bloodthirst, and +1 this turn for each card your opponent drew during their last turn. Oh shit, okay. And the special is that once he triggers a secret identity, reveal it to place a trap on top of your opponent's deck. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Am I the only one who thinks this is really cool?
Those effects that I think has blinded you with its novelty, but it's actually not as interesting as you think.
I don't know.
You gotta remember, like, move each trap in your opponent's deck 1 card higher. What does that really realistically mean? That's just increase the probability of your opponent drawing traps by, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, you can gain, like, +1 afterwards if he draws too many cards.
But that's the thing, that's not actually interesting, really. That's just playing a trap warlord where your opponent has a higher percentage of drawing traps if they play troops you can kill. Like, it's not actually that interesting or interactive. It just looks it because you like, that's a weird effect I've never seen before, which is true. It's very unique, but it doesn't functionally do much.
I mean, it does look pretty interesting though. Still, I don't know.
Yeah, the active is bad as well because unfortunately your opponent is not consistently going to draw many cards, but it could sometimes do a lot of damage, but most of the time it won't. Well, it's always going to be at least one, because your opponent will draw their card for the start of the turn. Yeah.
So I actually got, before we got to Liskian again, I got another submission. This is not a late submission, actually. This is a submission from one of our guys, basically, who said, I don't want to participate, per se. I just want your opinions. So he submitted a couple of cards. So maybe we can check them out.
This is Hacktoid, right? The guy I give all the cards to.
Yeah. That's Hacktoid.
Yeah, he keeps an archive of all this stuff as well. So we should probably start linking that, actually, because he's going to have a massive archive of all of the past cards and winners.
I chose a couple which I liked the most out of his cards, so I'm going to show it.
Yeah.
So let's start from number 1.
Stream, is it?
Yeah, it's live on the stream. It's going to be there. So number 1 is Creus, the Lord of Clan Kadaran. So which is 230, Survivor 5. And your Pride effects now also trigger as a sacrifice, which is pretty interesting. And 2 energy, choose an Augmentic and give it to adjacent troops. So it's a better Ferris, technically speaking. Well, not exactly, because Ferris can keep it for later combo, but Ooh.
This doesn't change how you build.
This doesn't change how you build, absolutely, though it is an interesting play with sacrifice. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. This is Navar Hef, the Raptor leader. 2 energy 35. Not 2 energy, 2 attack 35, for Christ's sake. Okay, so your ambush conditions are replaced by Pride. What? If the effect lasts only this turn, it extends until the end of your next turn. Deal 1 damage to all units. They lose stealth. Oh my god.
Doesn't change how you build again. It's just like
It's very original, but yes, that's the issue. But it's very original. I like how he's trying to mix up the factions with each other. Like, it's pretty good.
But if that is true, and it is what he's doing, why not put them in like Shattered Legions or Black Shields and make them function where they're like properly that way?
That would be more interesting. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not buying it this time. Sorry, Hacktoid. All right,
Vental, Istvan 5 Survivor, 25 HP but Survivor 5. If a friendly troop has Survivor, replace it with Stealth. Oh, again, he's mixing it. Deal 2 damage, then deal 2 damage to a different random unit besides your Warlord. Oh my. Ooh. So I get what he's trying to do, actually. And let's actually check the other one as well, okay?
I was going to say, hang on. This one's the most interesting, though, because this one is a flat replacement. So obviously, if you have like a shit ton of Survivor, like Survivor 3 or 4, that's a bad trade. But if it's only Survivor 1, that is a good trade. So that's interesting. The active ability shit, though, I don't like. What is the point of that? Also, I know Hacktoid, so I can be really mean to him, so it's fine. I'm not being nice. But yeah, I quite like Vental the most out of those.
Yeah, I actually just want to check out Volk as well, just to see if he's doing the same thing here. So the first obliterator, we had this guy so many times, by the way. Your first siege every turn does not need to be charged, but it stuns the activating unit. Choose a vehicle and copy its ability until your next turn. Abilities from your troops of 5 energy and above always cost 5, and you can't modify the warlord's stats. That's very complicated.
It's one of the better takes on this idea I've seen before, though. I tried to do this, and my idea failed. Mine was shit. It was the Mechanicum one that could steal like Titan weapon abilities, and that had all kinds of formatting and wording issues. It's just a very complicated idea. It's an intuitive one, copy the ability of another troop on your warlord for a turn, but you have to put so many like conditions and qualifiers on it to make sure it doesn't break everything. You just end up running out of card space. So this isn't the worst.
What the hell is this? I'm sorry for interrupting, but what the hell is this? Check this out. What is this, man? What is this?
I'm having to
You're gonna see it in
I'm behind you. Yeah, give me a second.
What the fuck, man?
What's he done? you sound upset. Oh, hello. God damn. Okay, so we're moving on from cuckoldry straight into snuff now, are we?
I don't know, man. This card creation tournament is getting crazier by the day. I don't know. Oh god. Yeah.
All right. I think it's time for you to pull the trigger on the final Liskian then.
Yeah. I think it's time until we all go crazy. So Liskian, guys, made a different type of submission. I believe this is not like an existing character, obviously, but this is his last participation in the tournament. So this is going to be his little goodbye present. So 2 energy, 2 attack, 30 health. Liskian, Corrupted Vice Admiral, and Alexander is his special card. So when this card receives poison damage, draw a card and reduce its cost equal to the damage taken. 2 energy, give poison 2 and heal 2 to an enemy and self. His special card is Alexander, Liskian's corrupted flagship. 3 energy, take control of all the enemy non-warlord units with poison, as long as they are poisoned, and give them fast. Ooh, that is very nasty.
That steals Titan weapons. How does that work? You could have just said troops, bro.
I like that.
Alexander just reaches down and slurps up a fucking Gatling blaster off of a Warlord Titan. Mine now. Nom nom nom.
To be honest, I do find the thing interesting because his ability is actually very interesting. You are poisoning yourself and the enemy, but Every time you stack it, this can be used two ways. You can use it to just stack the enemy with poison, but you also stack yourself with poison. So it's either a super aggro tool or you use it for value, but it's also very risky because you're a 30 HP warlord and you can be blown up very easily. But at the same time, if you think about it, and it's an enemy, plus it means you don't always target the enemy warlord. This is very interesting. I actually think this is pretty original, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think the balance is probably off, but the ideas are interesting.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't think it would change how you build that much, though. But then again, there isn't really a good.
It's a chaos warlord, so I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, if it was Death Guard, it'd be busted because it'd be so easy to steal your opponent's whole board with the purple. But since there's very limited access to poison and neutrals, that this isn't so bad.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to link a link here, guys, because Liskian made a very nice voice acting in like 4 or 5 languages for it. It's just quite a bit long. So I'm going to link it to you guys, and anybody who wants to check it out, he, as always, did a superb voice acting there. And I believe a lot of other guys participated there as well. I think that like he wouldn't mind me sharing because I was gonna display it anyway. I just think that it's better if I share it with you guys so you can check it out later than to run it right now because it's a little bit too long. But you should definitely check it out because he did quite some work on that voice acting, and I think it's really cool. On a couple of different languages as well. I think it's Spanish, German, and even Japanese. So very cool. I do know who is the Spanish one. I actually recognize the voice. It's none other than Zermal. So
nice.
Yes. So it's amazing, guys. I would suggest you check it out. It's very, very cool. And thank you to Liskian for another like piece of very hard work. Because all his videos, if you guys checked it out, he has superb editing there, and he's always been making like those voice actings and stuff for his cards, which is super. So we're gonna miss you, and we hope you're back one day. Yeah, this is a great card as well, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. In that case, let us now have a little conversation about who we choose as the winner. And Shad, today I think I'm going to be the fun police, and I'm going to say it's a difficult choice because I don't really like any of them that much.
Oh, brutal. It's a very hard design brief because warlords are just difficult. So yeah, I get that. I feel like I should address why it's so difficult quickly, because Transcend pointed out, like, hang on, why is it, yeah, they said, to change how Warlord builds, you would have to make your own base of cards. You can only work with the cards already in the faction. But yeah, you are half right. You can only work with the cards already in the faction, but you don't need to make your own base of cards. You can recontextualize them. One of my favorite examples, actually, I think the best one that modern EG have made is the Orphans of War, the new Black Shield, sorry, they're called now. All of their new warlords function and work with different parts of their card pool and make certain cards stronger or weaker. Endred Ha, for example, has rage synergy. The more rage you have, the better your reckoning gets. He also creates troops, which allows you to have some synergy with their create mechanics as well. The discount one that they have, Captured Outpost, for example. So he makes those cards better, but not all of their cards. Whereas Erod Varn, he has his own sort of little pseudo reckoning that incentivizes vehicles above many other things. Like I run the what is it? The Cyclops, the 1 energy Cyclops thing that just blows up and deals 2 damage as a backlash because it's a vehicle. That's all it needs to be, a vehicle, and it makes it a lot powerfuler. It's kind of a cheap and easy, like lazy way of doing it, but it does incentivize and change the sort of value of various cards that you have access to. And then Nerat Kareen is a steel warlord. He just steals everything. Christos Murtug is terrible, and we don't talk about him. I don't know what they were thinking. And Keto Neferis is an aggro warlord with some mild shield synergy, but they don't really have shield synergy, so it doesn't change anything. But yeah, that's kind of my point. All of those warlords do something different and incentivize using different parts of the card pool. So yeah, that's kind of the gold standard. EG is still EG, so they have to just put chase legendaries that go in every deck anyway, though. So that's a problem of their game design. That's not a problem with the concept. But like they're warlords, good warlords. Anyway, sorry. So
any suggestions, Shad?
I think Phocron is the best out that we got personally.
Which one is that yet again?
The Alpha Legion Headhunter Prime. That's the
This one.
Yeah.
This one's very good. This one's objectively very good.
The secret identity is a little too strong, but it's still my favorite out of the designs.
This one is very good. I liked it as well. Actually, yeah, you're right. This one is the one that I actually quite liked. And I also really believe that this is because I mean there's almost nothing wrong with it. So
yeah, it's just a little too strong. That's all. Yeah,
that makes sense. What else?
Second,
Hard.
I think Ithian Reeve, but only because he would be a cool Blood Angels warlord. It's flavorful, and but like yeah, it's in the wrong faction.
You mean the drop pod guy?
Yeah, if he was a Blood Angels drop pod associated character, it'd be very cool. I like Captain Galliard too, but again, too strong. I think those would probably be my three.
I don't know. Guys, I'm very sorry, but I kind of don't like this missions. No, I mean, I like them, but I don't like them as like much to differentiate them.
The flavor is phenomenal. The flavor has been great on all these cards, right, Teach?
Absolutely.
That's the thing. The flavor is the good part. It's really, really hard to mechanically make interesting warlords. That's not a you guys problem. It's just a difficult thing to do.
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean that the cards are bad. What I'm talking about is that no card stands out in a way that it shows that it's better than the others, right? So all of them are good.
I mostly go off mechanical idea. Like obviously the flavors are all good, but like mechanically, the ones that are most interesting is like Phocron and Galliard for me. And
which one was Galliard again?
Ifan Raiv. The first one, the Blood Angels. Sorry, the first Blood Angels warlord.
Oh well, yeah. This one is interesting because it at least has a cool synergy with making you open up, and then like
yeah, it's too strong is the thing, but like the ideas are cool.
Yeah. I'd go for Galliard as second. I'll be honest, not with.
If it's between them and Reeve, yeah, I think I'd agree because Reeve is like entirely in the wrong faction. Like as is, if you put him in Sons of Horus right now, why would you play him? It wouldn't do anything interesting. But in Blood Angels, he would be cool. But yeah, that would be mine. Those would be my choices. So yeah, I agree with that.
I think Omegon should win.
Fuck off. Oh, I switched the twins around. Who did that? Who did that? Let me find them.
I mean, technically, it's legal.
Give me their name. Who are they?
Isn't it legal though?
Yeah, perfectly legal. Just annoying.
Okay, I think I can go with your choices, Shat, in this one.
I am triggered. That's all. I quite actually, to be fair, Kalus Ekaddon. No, it's well, you can kind of do some interesting things that you can like wait and build up the spear tip. Maybe that's a contender for second or third as well.
Yeah, Ekaddon is also good, but I don't know.
You think Galliard for second and then Ekaddon for third?
It's between Ekaddon and Reeve. Let's have the community vote on that one.
Yeah, I'm down for that. All right, third place for the Ekaddon or Reeve. And again, there's lots of good ideas here. It's just they need some development in a lot of cases.
I wrote Reeve apparently wrong, and Ekaddon is with not a capital letter, so...
Oh, well done. Teach spelling.
Hey, that's how it is. Yeah, people are voting Ekaddon.
Interesting.
I think it clearly wins. Well, I guess that makes sense. What's the next tournament, chat, by the way? It's a flavor one, right? Or not a flavor?
No, this was a flavor one. So
mechanical one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, people are not voting anymore. I guess we just keep it at 10 then.
There's a couple more coming. Yeah.
I don't get why we're
Oh,
voting the second Rhaegar.
it was Azzy. Oh, fucking hell, Azzy.
You can never escape Ozzy.
Oh, every time. He's genuinely a very good troll, so he is the ultimate Alpha Legion player, because he always irritates me every submission.
Every
So
single time.
I've got to hand it to you, mate. You are good at what you do.
Hey, Ecclesiarch, what do you think about a demon warlord that would get discounts on the first demon they played each turn instead of paying maintenance? Ooh, that would be interesting. A little bit of a tempo there.
Would it though? Because it would just be like, well, I suppose, yeah, because Ruined Storm have no incentive to actually play the maintenance demons right now. So
yeah,
fair enough. Again, it's kind of brute forcing it, but it would work. It would make you play a weird, different deck. So yeah.
Vote for the Nico Maid Marie. Yeah, right.
Absolutely not.
Get the Melta and the Heavy Flamer as well, please. Guys, as always, thanks a lot for the hard work. Thank you for your submissions. All of them were very cool. The flavor was awesome. And yeah, we'll be waiting for you in the next tournament. We really enjoyed that you submitted so many cards this time because it was more than usual. So we're hoping to see you on the next one as well. So have a good day. Now I need to go and play tabletop, and I need to table enemy Grey Knights and Dark Angels with my Black Legion. So have a great day and wish me luck. See you, boys.